Okay, this is the tutorial for the waistcoat stitch. Slight modification in that this variation of the waistcoat stitch is worked with a half double crochet. You can see here I have some rows completed, and I will complete just one row, just kind of show a couple of stitches actually to show how it's worked. It's actually fairly intuitive once you get into the hang of it. It's just doing something a little different than what we're normally used to. Normally when we work a stitch here, we work into the top V-stitch, right? That's what we're used to doing. So for the waistcoat stitch, what you end up doing, I'm doing the half double crochet, that's why I just yarned over. So when you are working a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over. And as you're working the waistcoat stitch, you are working into these guys here. This area here, they're actually called the leg or legs of the previous stitch. So these are the legs of my previous waistcoat half double crochet stitch. Let me find my little pointer guide so that I can show you. Okay, so we're talking about these guys. Okay, this guy here, so we're working in the middle here, so we're working right here in the middle, so right in between the legs without so here we're gonna go. So you yarn over to work your half double, and then you're going to make sure you're able to get in there, work right in the middle. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. You want to make sure that you're also in the middle on the other side too, because that's how you're going to get the waistcoat to look the same on both sides. So you want to make sure you're in the middle of that stitch on the other side as well. So do that, and then just work a normal half double. Let me make sure I got into the middle of the other stitch. Yeah, so I'm in the middle there, and I'm in the middle there, and that's the basic waistcoat stitch, guys. In any waistcoat stitch, whatever variation that you're doing, the main variation is the single crochet. I'm doing the half double crochet. There's double crochet. The only thing that you're doing differently for a waistcoat stitch is you're working in the legs. So instead of working on the top of the stitch, which is what we're used to, which, like I said before, here, you're going to be looking to work in between those legs. So get in there, right in between those legs. Make sure the other side, there I am. Okay. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, draw through, all loop, just like a normal half double. Boom, there you go, you have it. So that's how you work it. Now, the only other secret, I'm doing my bunny ears, secrets to working this stitch is, you see how a little difficult it is sometimes to get into that stitch. You want to make sure that you can, one, get in between the legs on both sides, okay? And that requires a really good edge. You can do it with the duller edges. It's gonna take a little bit more time. Let me see if I can find, this is, see, it's more rounded. It's a little pointed, but it's not as pointy as this guy. Now it's workable for sure. I've done it with these. But here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to use your hook part. So I use the hook part to, one, open up the legs first. and then go through. So I feel like it adds an extra step. Okay, like I said, it can work, and there you go, you're in there. But it's going to add that extra layer, and for me it just, my rows took a lot longer to do it that way. So you're in there, and then that's your legs for the next row. Okay. So you want a very pointy hook. In order for me to get that, I actually end up using my Tunisian crochet set by Clover. You see here, and it's the interchangeable, so you can you can see that it's interchangeable one, but super effective. I loved it. It works really well. The other one that I love to use, I don't have it in front of me. Let's see here if I can find it. Okay. Was the Furls crochet hook. They had really great points, however, they tended to break. So that's actually my second one that I got from them. The first one, let's see if we can find it. Oh, here it is. Don't ask me why I kept it, I just did. But the first one was the cafe colored. And here's that one. So that one broke off too, but look how pointy it is. It was awesome to get through. But it also broke. Great about furls is that when your hooks break, they replace it at no extra charge. So the only inconvenience is, one, that it broke, and two, that you have to wait for the shipment of the replacement hook. I didn't have that problem when I just used my Clover hook, Tunisian crochet hook, interchangeable, and just kind of made everything easier. The hook is pointy enough, and I just glide it through. So that is the waistcoat stitch for the half double crochet variation. It is used in my newest design, which is the, at this moment, called the Gina vest. And it is a beautiful jean vest, variation of a jean jacket type of thing. But I use this stitch pattern because I think it just works really well with the Lion Brand jeans yarn that I used. But anyways, that is the waistcoat stitch. It is just it's just a yarn over like you would do a half double crochet. Instead of working into that normal stitch here, you are working into the legs, and you're working into the middle of the legs. Okay, and then you just go across as normal. And how I keep the edges straighter is that the first stitch is a single crochet, and then the rest are waistcoat half double crochet, and then the very last stitch is going to be a single crochet. And that just keeps the height variation working, because you're working a little below the normal, so you're not working here, you're working in here, so that takes your stitch down just a tad. So when you get to the edge, you undo the single crochet, so that when you turn your work, you're doing a single crochet as well. There is a way that you can modify that I have done with this pattern as well, that I will do another video with, and that is basically doing the first linked waistcoat half double crochet stitch, and that's a whole other beast. Many of you have already seen my first linked double crochet stitch, and you know how well they work and how awesomely straight they get your edges. So I pretty much do that stitch for a lot of my stitches. I just kind of make it work for whatever the stitch I'm doing. So there will be another video on the first link waistcoat half double crochet stitch, so that if you choose to do that, you can do that as well and still have those sublimely straight edges. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.